Hello friends, welcome back to Devananda OIFS Junior, and today we are looking at our first history class. So I hope you all know what is history. History is just the study of the past, whatever that happened before. So history is the study of the past. Okay, and history, if you just notice, it is his plus story. History mainly deals with stories. Okay, history is a huge collection of stories. So we are learning about someone's or something's story. Okay, the stories of the past, they are part of history. And today we are looking at civilizations. Okay, civilizations. So as humans progressed, there came the Stone Age. The Stone Age. This is the age in which humans started using stone for making tools. They used stone, and this led to the Stone Age. So Stone Age, again, it was divided into three eras. Okay, to three eras. Mainly the Paleolithic Age. Okay, Paleolithic Age. It is the old Stone Age, and next we have the Mesolithic Age. The Mesolithic Age is the middle Stone Age and the Neolithic Age. The Neolithic Age is the new Stone Age. Okay, so in the Paleolithic Age, humans discovered fire. So it was a step to intellectual advancement. So fire was discovered in the Paleolithic Age, and in the Paleolithic era, humans were nomads. Humans were nomads. What do you mean by nomads? Nomads means people who are wandering around for food. Okay, they are just roaming around across continents, searching for food and water along with shelter. They won't be constructing houses to live. Rather, they will be living in caves, and when the food at a particular place is over, they will be going to another place in search of food again. So they are just traveling around. And next came the Mesolithic Age. The Mesolithic Age saw much advancement. So in the Paleolithic Age, tools were crude. Okay, they had sharp edges. They were crude and was not polished well. Okay, they were crude. But in the Mesolithic Age, a new type of tools evolved. They were called the microliths. Okay, microliths. So microliths, micro means extremely small. Very small pieces of stone were used as tools. They are called microliths. So the Mesolithic Age saw microliths, and next towards the end of the Mesolithic Age, when the Neolithic Age started, it saw cultivation. The start of cultivation. Humans noticed how a seed can grow into a completely new plant and give us food. Okay, so they started cultivation and started growing their own food, and this was the art of agriculture. Agriculture. So for agriculture, they needed water. They needed water for agriculture. And what did they do? They just went to the river banks. So rivers, they are just huge tanks of water, always flowing fresh water. Okay, so that was really comfortable for these cultivators. Okay, so the Neolithic people, they settled along river banks. And what did they do? As agriculture progressed, they had farms and fields near to their houses. Okay, so they had fields. Okay, and now they don't want to roam around in search of food. They just have their food at their doorstep. So what did they do? They just constructed houses and started becoming settled. Humans started becoming settled, and this was a great revolution in the Neolithic Age, and these were the advancement during the Stone Age. And next, again ages shifted and the next age came. So again advancement came, and there was a huge discovery was of a metal. Copper was discovered. Copper. It was a great revolution. So copper was discovered. As copper came, it is a metal, okay, so it is much stronger than stone. So as copper came, there came an advancement in tools, and this age is known as the Chalcolithic age. Chalcolithic age. So in the Chalcolithic age, humans used copper along with stone. They didn't leave stone, okay, copper along with stone. So this age is known as the Chalcolithic age, and this didn't last so long, okay, and the next age came. So humans were developing intellectually, and they're much intelligent than before. So the Chalcolithic age ended, and next came the Bronze Age. The Bronze Age. So it was the discovery of bronze. Okay, so what did they do is that they took copper. They took copper, which they already had, and mixed it with tin. Okay, copper was mixed with tin. Okay, copper will be melted, and along with the melted copper they would add tin. Okay, this increased the strength, and this new thing was bronze. Okay, so as the Bronze Age came, an advancement in tools came. So what happened when advancement in tools came? So agriculture was much easier than before because you had much better tools. So what happened? So agriculture, it expanded from small fields to large amounts of acres. So agriculture progressed. So what happened? They had something called surplus. They had something called surplus. What do you mean by surplus? It is just simple, means extra, more than enough food grains. Okay, they had more food, extra food. Simply wasting food, no, they didn't like it. They started trade, and much specifically barter trade. Okay, for example, if I am a person who is having a lot of wheat, I have surplus wheat grains, and you have, for example, surplus amount of coconuts, for example, surplus amount of coconuts. So I don't have coconuts and you don't have wheat grains. So what would I do? I will give my extra wheat grains to you, and you will give your extra coconuts to me. So this is barter trade. So I just took some coconut and you just took some wheat. We both are happy now. Okay, so that was barter trade. Barter trade arose. So what happened? The invention of the wheel saw the discovery of pottery. The invention of the wheel helped in pottery, a new art. The pots that they made, the craftsmen made pots, and these pots were given to the traders. Okay, what would the traders do? They will sell them. So automatically what happened? The craftsmen lived with the traders. So they had to live together. Okay, so the craftsmen lived with the traders. And what happened? People were living together. Okay, the agriculturers, the farmers, the craftsmen and the traders, the main occupations, they all lived together, forming towns. This formed towns. And next, what happened? As towns came, there was a huge value given to land. So land had value. Okay, now what happened? Humans started war. Humans started war for land, and automatically what happened? They needed a chief or something like a king to rule them so that there will be peace. So the administrative system came. the administrative system came. Okay, there was a way of ruling, a set of laws and rules, and there arose the idea of a chief or a king. So administration came in. And next, what happened? We learned that land was given much more priority. Automatically what happened? There came boundaries, a fixed boundary, just like a country that you live in now. Okay, humans are advancing and they now have an effective administrative system and proper boundaries. So when all these advancements came, we say that it is a civilization. Okay, so it is a civilization. So we came into that term, civilization. So civilization, what is it? What if I ask a definition for the word civilization? So civilization, first let us look at the word origins. The word civilization originated from the Latin word civis. What is civis? Civis means citizen. Citizen or city dweller. Okay, someone who lives in a city. Okay, someone who lives in a city is known as a citizen, or someone who lives in a country is also called a citizen now. Okay, so that is what the word civis meant. Okay, and from this Latin word, the word civilization came in. So, as civilizations came in, it was a period of social advancement. Okay, so when I ask you a definition for the word civilization, the first point you will add is the word complex system. It is a complex system, okay. Developing a civilization is not a simple thing. It is complex. It is a complex system of social advancement. The society came in and there was an advancement in the social way. It is an area, so it is a complex system of social advancement. Social advancement, and then we had advancement in various other subjects as well. Okay, we had an advancement in science and arts. So progress in science and arts. And then what happened? There was a fixed boundary. Okay, there was a fixed boundary. And next, what was there? There was an effective administrative system. An administrative system. And when all these things came, there was an organized life. Organized life. Okay, there is an organized way of living. So how do you make these points into a definition? So we can say that civilization is a complex system of social advancement which saw progress in science and arts and had fixed boundaries, along with an effective administrative system and a reasonably organized life. Okay, so this is the definition for the word civilization. So let us look into some examples. We were studying about the Bronze Age, and in the Bronze Age there were mainly four civilizations, and I said that civilizations took place on the banks of rivers. Okay, they took place on the banks of rivers because as they started agriculture they needed water. Okay, so they took place on the banks of rivers. So mainly these four civilizations were, the first one which we are going to start learning is the Mesopotamian civilization. Mesopotamian civilization. The Mesopotamian civilization occurred on the banks of river Tigris. Okay, Tigris and Euphrates. It occurred on the banks of the river Tigris and Euphrates. Okay, and the next civilization was a pretty famous one. The Egyptian civilization. Everyone knows about the Egyptian civilization. I'm sure about that. The Egyptian civilization, it occurred on the banks of river Nile. It occurred on the banks of river Nile. So next we had a civilization in India. Okay. It is the Harappan civilization. Okay, the Harappan civilization. The Harappan civilization is also known as the Indus Valley civilization or the Sindhu Valley civilization. Okay, it is the Harappan civilization because the first city to be found was Harappa. So it is the Harappan civilization on the banks of river Indus. Okay, it occurred on the banks of river Indus. And the fourth one, this is also pretty famous. It is the Chinese civilization. This civilization even continues today. The Chinese civilization, it occurred on the banks of river Huanghe and Yangtze. Kiang, it is the full name of the river. So the Chinese civilization occurred on the banks of river Huanghe and Yangtze Kiang. Okay, so all these four civilizations occurred on the banks of rivers. And why banks of rivers? One of the reasons I already gave. Why banks of rivers? Water for cultivation. This is the first reason. Water for cultivation. And next, I told that they started trade. So they settled along river banks because they had a transportation facility. They had a transportation facility. Means you could just take a boat and travel. Okay, you could go to other places and sell your goods. Okay, trade. They also looked into trade, and it was an advancement because along river banks you had pretty transportation facility, and at last fertile land. Okay, again agriculture, fertile land. Okay, so what happened is that when the rivers experience the monsoon time, okay, when rain falls, these rivers would flood. Okay, and rivers, they carry a huge amount of sand with them called silt. And what happens when they flood is that they will just deposit this silt on their banks. And what happens? Silt is really fertile and good for agriculture. So these were the reasons why civilizations flourished on the banks of rivers. Okay, so thank you, and we will be looking into the Mesopotamian civilization in the next video. Bye.